Okay, so this is Unit 4, Lesson 2, Code Practice 1. And on this, it says write a program that inputs numbers and keeps a running sum. And when the sum is greater than 200, we're going to output the sum as well as the count of how many numbers were entered. Okay, so there's a couple of things going on here. First thing we got to do is create our input statement. And that input statement is going to be X. You can use, again, whatever variable you want to use. And so we're going to enter a number. Make sure you put your space here. It's an integer. We're going to input numbers. We're inputting whole numbers, so integers. And so the first thing we're going to do is then once that number is input, that value, whatever is input, is going to be our sum. And then that's going to tell us that C, which stands for count, that's our counter, equals 1. So far, so good? So we've input a number. It's then assigned to the variable sum, and C equals 1. Then from that, we drop way down here, and I don't know why I put so many spaces here, but I did. So here's our qualification thing. So while sum is less than or equal to 200, while, it's a while statement, so at the back of it is a colon. There's a colon right there, 2 dots, which means when I press enter, that it's going to tab this over. While sum is less than or equal to 200, X equals integer. It's the same sentences up here. I just copy and paste it down here, making sure I do my space again with that, and then enter. Sum equals sum plus X. So in other words, when we entered the first number, it was put to sum. It then compares it. Well, if you put in 201, it automatically says there's 201 numbers, and it's going to print that C was one number. But if you do less than that, it's going to be less than or equal to 200, so it's going to prompt the program to ask you again to enter another number, and whatever that number is, it's going to take the place of this, plus sum, which from up here was our first number, becomes our new sum. And then that gives us the counter, C equals C plus 1. And it's going to keep doing this. It's going to keep running this loop. This is a loop. It's going to keep running that loop until it does this check, that when sum is greater than 200, then it's going to print sum plus string of sum. Remember this, we're printing a value here, so we need to put a string in front of it, and it's going to print numbers entered string C. See, this is our counter, and it keeps counting each time a number is in it. Sorry. So it prints this, and then once it runs this loop and the sum is greater than 200, it will print this statement, and then we'll print this statement. Make sure, again, ladies and guys, that you put a space right there. You close your quotes. Make sure you have the correct number of parentheses. And that is how you do Unit 4, Lesson 2, Code 1 for the loop.